7th place. That's a bit of a surprise for me. So if it's caused a bit of a shock for you at home as well, let us know, is this the game they're going to turn up? Let's look at that route. It's from the east all the way over towards the west. Georgia Pole's still very much in play, but the team's going north and south. That's a distance, Richard.
I think something to quick note as well that I saw the chat speaking about. When you look towards, I believe it was Team 17, Derek Skillers, that's one of the voted invitational teams. That's one of the teams that didn't make it through, obviously, the top 15. But are actually one of the very teams, the 5 in fact, that were voted in to join all the rest of the rosters here at the North American Regionals.
Look
we'll take
at
a quick
Milta,
look
Rich.
at the, less about, obviously more about this map. Yeah, Milta, 3 teams already there. Milta Power will have the same team as before where they can loot on their own, do the normal thing. Team 3 is just a little bit below them. Lepovka's finally got a team in this time. 3 teams in Yasnaya, unless one of them wants to break off, maybe look to Stalbros, Avernus, Stalbros, somewhere you don't really see teams. But once again, I think we're going to have a large cluster of players moving towards Georgia Pole.
I also want to just keep my eyes on where we see the likes of Team Gates go, which is Team 4. If you're looking at the map, you're thinking, okay, which one's which? Team 4 is the one I want to look at. Just see where they are. If they get contested early, if they're safe, we'll check on that, because I just want to see which area they're going to and where they like to loot. But already going to see the loot coming in for these teams. These are the teams dropping towards Milta. We saw that before, but there is someone in Mini Milta, which is the smaller power plant. So there could be an early, little bit of a back and forth, but for now, they're okay.
Completely off a tangent and call me a nerd, but I'd say, oh, actually, Hoyt's down.
Wait, what?
Hoyt just went down.
How?
That's super early. He's not dead yet. Obviously, they're 80 alive,
knocked,
but he's got an initial knock.
What?
Yeah, we have to keep an eye on that. That's dangerous to lose somebody within the first few seconds. Oh man, this reminds me of Gamescom all that time ago where he got shot straight off spawn. Poor bugger, it's happening again.
Poor Hotted. But we are seeing, this is what I asked for. So Team Gates, they like the Novo play, they like the military base island. I like that. They're the first to cross, get the vehicles, get in the buggy, and get that safe loot. And we're seeing that. That's good. They saw a little bit of fire, maybe some damage from the vehicle if they maybe, clipped a tree or something. We've all done it on the way. So Samuel, he's fine. But they should have some good loot here and some lovely what look like bunny ears.
Yeah, the skins in PUBG Mobile are something to be impressed. I mean, we've already got Corn Boy of it. Oh, we've had Team Corn.
Team Corn. It makes sense,
I
right?
want this skin.
I
really do.
And it matches so well with that helmet.
It does.
It really does. It looks phenomenal.
Oh, okay. Talk about the map then. 1, 2, 3 teams over by Milta. Still up the... Oh, okay. This is the fight we were talking about. So Hodder did originally get knocked. He's now back up. You'd expect, because of how quick it was, Lauren, you'd have to say the man can't have armor and he can't have health.
No.
I mean, he's not medding already.
Now, this is Derek's Killers as well. These guys were in 2nd place, so if they start losing out on players early, this could be very scary.
2nd player does go down. That's from Hoddy's team on the opposing side. You can hear gunshots kicking off at the back. No confirmed kills have been made just yet. Want to try and get the answer back. That's a 2nd knock now.
Oh, that's big.
Is that Mr. Hotted?
Yep, it's Hotted confirmed down.
Feels bad, man.
Everyone likes Hotted. Poor guy gets found. But Ironside doing very early work. That's big points in the bag. Considering these points are way more than most people are used to. I was going to say on the other side, for the Pachinki Bandits, you got 7 over here who could have had a really good position on that J7. Could have been a very good spot. He was flanking in the right position, trying to use his teammates as kind of the linchpin to work their way around, but he couldn't do it in time. Loses out on the teammates, and he might have just lost out on Pachinki.
They've already lost 2. We should just disengage from this and get the hell out of Pachinki, to be honest. You don't want to lose any more than that going into these latter circles with 50% deficit on your team. He has been lucky in the fact that he's found an M24 straight away.
That's not bad,
That's on his back, regardless of what's on it. I'd just take that thing and run like the wind, honestly, to get the hell out of there.
Now we're looking over towards Yasnaya, towards the northeast of the map. This is in the circle this time, so they get a fair time to loot, and it can be split up quite decently. You can get a lot of teams in here and kind of cut it into various ways so you can get your safe loot and not overextend, but you might see teams posturing. When I say that, taking a couple of shots, putting some pressure down. You don't want to let the other team try and sneak a player in here or there and get that confirmed kill. So you'll see a little bit of that, but we do see 3 teams, I think, for now in Yaz.
Yeah, no team likes to share just for the simple fact that you're always aware of where they're going to be. Can they get an easy pick? Can they get an easy knock? But it can support up to 3 at a complete and utter push. If when you're talking about moving into 4, then you're going to see some early engagements. You can see the back of the apartments. They're going to be easy game and fair game for all the players that will be towards the top end of Yasnaya. You come further down. You got the little houses, the 4 stack, and then you have the apartments. So you can split it pretty much into 3 and be happy, get fully geared up, and not have to commit to a fight or anything else. They are inside the circle. it is a little bit towards the edge, so they will have to come in if the circle goes the opposing way to them, but still, easy loot for theirs.
The one thing is that Team 7, which is Team G25, there's a lot of numbers there, isn't there? But they're the ones in Yasnaya, and they finished 3rd. So for them, you've got to be a little bit careful. They've got some room. They're not being pressured too much. They're okay. But you've got to keep that in mind. That's a big, big story for them as well, to be in such a good position so early on. Not a huge team to frag out. They don't have like crazy kills on the board, but they're certainly another team to really look towards. And Team 11 here, the best name in the game, the Girthy Dingoes.
I'm wondering if we're kind of at this point in PUBG Mobile where when you're looking towards Gankstars, you know they're good, you know where they are, you know that they're committed to Northern Georgia, Paul. Yep. Would you start to look at setting up elsewhere? Would you either A, go middle and try and always be a step ahead of them in the game to, you know, if they're going to commit to the middle, then you can all be there central waiting for them? Or would you try and lock down certain points of the map, some choke points? Would you look towards a bridge? Would you look towards somewhere? I mean, for instance, you have the bridge that moves across from crates, for example. You know, you can lock that down with the 4-stack that's there. You do have the tri-road. In
the nicest way, they ran through teams. I do not want to fight them. Oh, I do not want to be driving like that either. That is a bit of a parking job coming in. That's towards the southern side of Milta, and that's 2 teams buying out. That's Team 3 against Team 16. That's those guys coming into the fight. They're on the smaller side of this. Team 16 is Hammer Esports, so these guys got to be a little cautious. I say cautious, maybe not. They're going for a push.
That's 2 or 3 players.
Look at this push, Rich.
Losing 25%. They're getting the hell out of there. So, okay, it's time to run, but it's all kinds of damaged. Fires come back from straight behind the caravan. Get away from the vehicle. It's going to go.
You got to run, get that cover, get away from those bullets coming in, and it looks like they've done just about that. Those guys staying alive for now, trying to get a bit of a bandage on, trying to heal up, get themselves prepared for that potential fight coming their way. Because Hammer Esports, they're not backing away. Animosity right on the verge of it. You can see them strafing around here, trying to get that hip fire spray to come in, and Sneaky, he wants some of it as well. Animosity's going to find one, but who's going to confirm these kills? It could still go either way.
Cleanups there, 15 points do go down. They'll be able to try and get the res off here. You need to be careful of the one player on the right-hand side that is coming around the flank. 2 players are still holding point looking.
Oof, that grenade.
Seeing if we can get around the corner. They will move up just by the back of the caravan. The problem is this player just outside on the crates.
Richie's watching it. 3rd person. Welcome to the game. Really smart positioning from Richie. Spots it. Is a kill going to come in? First couple of bullets. Taps away. The corn gets ripped aside, and that's brilliant work from those guys. A little bit of pressure came in, but you could see the aggression from the other team, from Hammer Esports. They wanted that so badly. Animosity was just charging in there. He wanted it. But this position from Richie saved the day. If you saw one of those players getting around the back, that could have gone so differently.
It's smart thinking. Just hold the point so you can't be flushed from behind. And honestly, that's pretty much as you said. It could have won out that entire fight. They've eliminated all 4 players. They'll go out in 20th position. They've been deleted from the server. They are gone, and that's 60 points moving the way of those guys. That's a lovely way to frag out and start. And more importantly, Lauren, you can steal all their loot. All those boxes are free game now.
Yep, I think, yeah, that is huge. That's a lovely little upgrade, even if you took some damage. Now, with the blue considering to get a little closer to some of these teams, you're going to start seeing them working their way in. We could have some fun towards the northwest. That's going to be all the Georgia Pole teams. They'll have to work their way forward. Couple of ways they can do it, so that's no bother. We're here over by Farm. Again, not ideal position. You want to get something maybe nice and central, which it's not too far off, but Farm's not great for it. It's not the ideal position. And this early in the game, you can pick where you want to be going, and that'll be foul play, heading over towards it. And I'm sure with SolidFPS in that squad, he'll be keeping people, you know, keeping that in mind. He's very good at that. There's a lot of real estate to grab around that area, and that's a very old school Team Liquid approach, getting a lot of that positioning, a lot of that real estate in for grabs. We are seeing the teams towards the southwest, actually. Could have some fun here.
Yeah, this is a really nice open compound area that they can take. It covers a lot of land. You can look towards people who want to be rotating down from the upper extremities of Erangel if you really want to. Behind further afield, there is a massive mountainside. You can look down on there, you can look up. It is very open, lots of trees you can kind of move in between, but there are 2 teams that may potentially close in on this. The circle does come through, and it will push this one further afield. So it's not the best position in the world. They might just be sitting and lingering, hoping somebody wants to try and transition by again. If your gear's not all that good, you can play for the next fight survivability. You can try and take down a team like we just saw the first one, to be honest. Oh, that's a banger of a shot. Good Lord, straight through the brain. That's the Car98 doing job. 762, good morning and welcome to the show, he says. We'll be able to pick him back up, but what a beautiful little shot down in Watertown. You can see him as well, Lauren.
Oh, no!
See through the window.
They didn't think about the small window in Derby. This guy, vision aplenty.
Little letterbox just posting him a bullet through. Panic stations here, though. That's scary.
And the teammates are moving up as well. Very smart play coming up from Team 8. Whichever one this is, let's look across. Zen Gamers. I know their fans are out there, pretty vocal as well, so they'll be cheering these guys on, trying to get them to make this push. But there's a little bit of a gap here. You can see it. It's quite hard to traverse. Do you want to make that risk, take that chance? 15 points is pretty big.
They're going to have armor removed, more importantly. You punch someone in the face like that, instantly go down. It removes the utility side from them as the player. Lacking armor as well. It was a shot to the chest on the second one, so they're going to be all kind of dinked up. Playing with a shotgun, just lurking. This will put a halt if anyone wants to make a...
You don't want to repeat that, do you?
No, it's scary, and that's why they're kind of watching. He's smoking out, which kind of cover the porthole, so to say. I can't believe he shot him through that gap. I wouldn't have thought it was, you know, we've seen it, we know it's there, but I certainly wouldn't have been thinking about it myself.
No helmet either. You can see that's been ripped off, so this becomes a problem. You've got to be very careful where you step now. There's eyes everywhere. There's eyes in the hills, in the trees, in the buildings. And that's going to be something in the back of their minds now. How do they escape? Do they escape? Do they just sit down and try and wait them out? Have some patience.
That's the saving grace of Watertown, currently perpendicular to where the circle is. You don't really have to do too much. But again, now they're inside that building. Now they know where the shots are actually coming from. Putting a bullet through that window gives them a direction to where the team is looking at them from at least. So they have that level of information. But again, when you've already had your scalp removed like that, do you really want to try and take this one? Do you really want to stick your head out again?
Yeah, I think the answer is going to be no, but we are seeing Zen Gamers keeping real close tabs on it. They do not want to get... And you heard the Car 98 go off, and the tag actually came in as well. Now, for Gankstars, they're still in the blue. They're taking their time on this as well. Just an update for the team who's currently in first position. Came out with a huge amount of kills as well. They're going to start leaving Georgia Pole pretty soon. That's going to be in their minds, but there's a team not far away from them either, so that's going to be another factor. But it looks like we have Team 14 here working their way forward. Team 11 might have a horrible surprise in front of them. I don't know if they're aware of this.
I'm looking at that player. If you look at Lord's reticle, he is moving towards and looking as they do go through. Nice area now to at least kind of hunker down and see if anyone wants to go an advancement in front of them. They will split at least. But again, Team 14 around. This is now okay. This is nice, fair play. This might actually be the bait to get these guys out. They need to run.
They still got time on the circle. They're still okay. It's just very scary when you're this close by, and we do see another kill or not coming in.
The good thing is that they did split. If they want to split, there would have been an open ground. Initial tags are through. He's inside the vehicle. Can he get some sort of a knock?
He's trying. This is where you're just hoping that shot lands. Try and get a headshot. The tag. It's not enough.
Just seeing Clay as well in the kill feed. Oh. That kill's happened, but meanwhile, over by Waterworld, that fight actually continued through. Two fights on either side of Erangel at the moment. We're trying to keep a tab on both of them the best we can. Let's see where the circles. No, it's not, especially with how... In fact, are they all dead?
Now, I want to have a little look towards Wildcard if we can, just to see if they're actually setting up for Gankstars too, because that's a potential move coming in. They've sat very close to that position. That's something to keep in your minds. You see in Taserface, yep,
they're dead.
Eliminated.
That's the Waterworld team.
Well, that's what happens when you peek a little too much.
Rather unfortunate.
Zen Gamers getting a lot of points, though. And we were talking about this as well. Team G25, they're still in Yasnaya. They're Team 7 on your screens. And they finished in 3rd position. So I know a lot of people are looking towards them. You know, what can they do? And this is the stalemate, isn't it? This is the standoff of third person. You know they're there. Maybe they know we're here. We don't want to take those risks.
We don't know in the players' minds. Clearly, Team 10 know that they're there. And that's where they've been held on the road.
Yep.
But they are, initial bullets come through. G25 now on red alert and fully well aware of where they're going to come from. Looking towards the armor and the utility. Level 1s are abound.
Clay.
Slazer sees him, nails him in the road. That's the door open. Can he find some more? He sees the peak. Initial person comes through. The lean's there, but the tag is not.
Yeah, I don't think you can aim that far down that drastic of an angle. So you can see Crypto working their way up. G25, a lot of people impressed with this side so far as well.
He could flank really hard on that roadside.
Absolutely.
If you go through the middle, just where the broken vehicles are, he'll completely line all these up like bowling pins.
Well, we'll see if he does it. Team 10 on the other side. Couple of bullets coming through. The smoke does go up, and the meds being used. So they're trying to keep themselves still in this one. Slazer, if he can keep their attention, that could create that moment. And maybe they're considering it.
He's
it
watching.
Looks like they are.
He's watching the angle, though. This is the same one before.
This is Winsanity.
Yeah.
Looking for that. This could be a big pickup from him if they get the timing right.
Got to be careful with that VSS, though. If he moves, it's going to stick out of the wall, and they'll know. And then if they run through,
such a standoff.
They're going for it. Here we go.
Here we go. Pre-fire on the corner. This could be the spray down. The connection is good. The teammate jumps in. It's Crypto lining up the kill feed.
There's one, there's two, there's three, there's four. Simple as that. GG. Team wipe, and you can hear the crowd in the background. Round of applause. Amazing delivery. They lined that one up perfectly. They pushed. There was even a bit of a nuisance play, I want to say, that kind of diverted their attention. They looked to where they hit, they struck. Line him up and knock him down, exactly just as we said it. Look at that.
Really nice play, and good work from Quantum to not overextend as well. Didn't want to just be the one to get caught up and die there, so played it perfectly, let his teammate come out, get the rest while he reloaded and came back through. Very good play. And again, G25 racking up points here, boding very well for them, pushing towards that top 2 position potentially.
It was perfect. You just had Slazer just stick there in the window, just be a complete nuisance, and they just focused too hard on him. 3 people pushed up on the right-hand side. Instantly just wipes them all out.
Carnage. We saw him with an M16 before, having some great range shots. I hope we see that again. This guy warded away. Can't be taking needless fights here. Who's he up against? That's a shot. There's Carnage. This guy's got an ability. He's got a skill. This man's a little bit of a specialist, it seems.
It might only be 5.56, but I tell you what, a single shot on a 16 does some disgusting. Wait, is that a Saiga kill? That must be up close and personal. That was a shotgun. In the kill feed. Samuel now wanting to try and get involved in this one, get himself a position. They do have the defler they can play off the back of.
You're not going to in third person.
Yeah, they're just going to move the vehicle so the tires don't get punched.
More than likely. You can't run up that field in third person without being spotted.
Smokes are abound. Will the opposing team get themselves back together?
Now let's have a look at the teams who've gone central. Let's look into the map. Let's get a little bit of a strategy update for you guys. And you want to talk about teams who go central? We have about 5, all of them sitting around towards the west side of farm.
And look who's smack bang in the middle, Lauren, once again. It's the Gankstars. They're taking the farm as well. Don't think they're actually... So they're going to have the 2 teams pretty much in the middle, one on the hillside, just towards the northern edge, and then down below them in the 2 big white farms, you will see team number 4. It's going to be Team Gates now. Remember, Gates lost 50% of their players in the last one.
That's a good circle for them.
It really is. It fixates hard on the upper end of Erangel. And we're going to be staying on the island. We won't see military this time round. Team 11, a couple of them have floated off that way to try and just go for the long rotation. Bullets are abound though as we move on to the side.
Oh, Beowulf.
Gankstars.
Oh no, this could be big. Beowulf's going to find one. Nerve's gone down to Zute's in on this.
Look at the switch. Just goes for the secondary in the back pocket. The Scar comes out and he just nails a second one. 30 points, easy peasy.
That's Derek's kills. A lot of people were backing them. A lot of people liked what they were doing.
Second player there. Oh. Every time I see someone in a conso, it just makes me smile a little bit.
Let's see, Gankstars now. You can see them hunting. I like this. They go center circle and they're very aggressive on taking these long-range fights. They like it. They want to get into the action. They want those kills. They said they wanted 30. I don't know if it's going to be this game. I mean, there's 57 still alive, so maybe it could be, but it seems unlikely.
Still plenty of time to do it. As PB mentioned, this is a best of 8 over 2 days. We're into game number 2, and it's TPP.
The remainders of Derek's killers are about to get crunched on as well. They need to be very careful. You can see him, Team 17 in the minimap, they're just getting away. But this hillside has that one dirt road that leads through it. There's a lot of cover, a lot of chances for teams to find good positions, but it's going to be heavily fought for.
I mean, you've already got 6 teams already kind of fortified up on that dirt road, as you mentioned. It's going to be a gauntlet. People will now have to try and play the extremities, maybe circle creep on the edge. Long-range fight here, Team 12. That's going to be foul play. SolidFPS in the front lines.
G25 might be running up on a team in the north as well. They're about to have some trouble potentially. I don't see them in a car.
G25.
So yeah, they're the fan favorites right now. I know a lot of people love to see what these guys are doing, so that could be big in the north. Depending on if they actually go that way, they could still veer off potentially. If they get caught up, you never know. But there's 2 teams in this compound here. So again, they're splitting this by floor.
Team 16. It's going to be Hammer Esports losing 2 earlier on. Derek G. A little bit of a warning shot there to try and back off. The garage on the opposing side does house 4 players. I'll tell you what, he's fancying his chances though. He's stepping out. Maybe they can just, they might actually get away from this one. Lauren, the fight that you actually spoke about was just endured. We've just seen 25, one of the members knocking a player out with a headshot. That's the K98 playing a vital role once again. If we can, we'll try. Is that in?
Underrated. Oof, it was close. That was a decent throw on him. It's a bit of a stalemate. It's those uncomfortable positions. Like, oh, I can't back away. We have to fight. We have to do something. Ironside trying to put up numbers. Trolling goes down. There's actually not that many of the other team alive here, so any of these knocks are pretty important. Trolling going to work his way back up. There is not many to get through here. It's just two remaining. Keep
an eye on the left-hand side for the kill feed, because that fight with G25 in the back lines is unfolding. That's against Underrated, I do believe. More grenades from Ironside, but they don't actually know where the players are now. You just saw his health completely diminish.
Yep. That
K98 hit, and it hit hard. Trolling once again, down to about 10% HP. It's the 3PP game all over again. Who's got the nerve? Who's got the better shot? That, again, G25 in the kill feed. This is the fight that we were speaking about.
This has to be it, surely. Is it? This Team Hectic. Josh P getting peppered in the backlines. It is indeed. G25, we've seen these guys are aggressive. They're not afraid to fight, and we're seeing why. Another knock comes in. These guys are looking good. They look hungry, but they're not out of the woods yet. Team 6 has a lot of players in the way. Team Hectic still has players up 2 to be precise. Fire comes in from Remix, and that shot's good.
Slazer gets punished. He gets a little bit over-aggressive. But again, when you have the level of skill, you can afford to do that. But 2 players down here. Can we see the committed kill? Just tap it to the back. Well, the Hectic player just says, oh, try and run away from that one. Once again, HP down. Might have tagged his own teammate up a little bit there. A little bit unfortunate. But again, they're just using him as bait. They can leave him out there and try and get these players to focus on the heal. And when this happens, will we see 25 kind of step up to the plate?
Well, Crypto just got the confirmed kill on one of them. So again, this is going to be the curious point that comes in just a second's time, is the fact that neither of them are particularly safe here. They do not have the safety of the circle. So it's a bit of a stalemate of, okay, who moves first? Is it you? Is it me? I don't want to make that move because I know you'll just shoot me in the back. So both these teams are locked in until one of them wins it out.
What's rather unfortunate is after this fight's over and done with, it's kind of out of the frying pan and into the fire, because you've got Team 12, 15, excuse me, you can even see.
Gone down. That's Team 2 gone down, but the fight comes in already. Crypto, it's a trade out so far.
Oh, they just wiped them.
Done.
That's it, they're done. I thought there were 1 player remaining in the back, but he comes through.
So we've just lost the previous 2nd and 3rd team, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I just saw Derek's Killers go down and G25 go down. So now this is G-Star's going to open this wide up as well. Pachinki, I think it's the Pachinki Bandits finished 4th, and these guys now all come into the battle. This bodes well for all the teams from 4th all the way down to about 10th. They can really change the game up now.
Rather unfortunate for G25. I don't think they expected so much aggression to this fight. You know what? Let's go in. They just pushed it hard. And unfortunately, they were punished. They go down. They go out in 14th place. The bigger problem is that now they're done. They have to face off against Team 15. That is literally lingering on the edge of the circle. The Gankstars, we are on board with them now. Team 12 directly in front of them. That's foul play.
That's SolidFPS as well.
He's in the back lines.
This was a fight before. Sniper, Lauren. Look, this is revenge from potentially what we saw over in Roshog. That was a fight before that happened. And actually, Zute's been found. Beowulf's come back in with a Molotov. They're taking fights on multiple fronts. This bodes very, very badly for the #1 team right now, Gankstars.
Mimo, extremely damaged. Zute and Beowulf both down and bleeding, unfortunately. The smoke's there.
They've got 2 knocks against them. 2 of their teammates are down right now. They're trying to do what they can. They're trying to find a way back through this, through the smoky crawls. But you're going to see the punish coming out from the other teams. They want to get these confirmed kills against Gankstars. Exclusive there, doing some real nasty work.
You don't want to give them a second lifeline. If they're knocked, finish them. Get them out of the server. Get them down. Get them gone.
Gankstars, this is not a good spot for them. They do have a lot of smokes. They'll have a lot of utility. You can see the nades going up, trying to force them back. Exclusive. He has got cover, so he should be okay for now. But Gankstars need to be very careful. They need to buy time, and that's what Angry's doing. He puts that smoke down. He puts the nades down. It gives them a couple of seconds to sort themselves out. But they're hearing shots in the backlines. They know they are not safe here anymore.
Hector takes out the vehicle. It's going to be 2 kills for him down in the kill feed. Zute already gone here. It's rather unfortunate. You're all seeing fights on multiple sides here. That's Team 20 going in. Just some dudes will rush the building. Confirmed kill. Exclusives gone.
Girthy Dingo's down as well, confirmed.
2 players are about 20% HP. They've got some time for now. Circle's gone away from them.
Still,
look at this roll, Lauren. Team 12, Team 20, and then Gankstars on the backlines. They have
to
run a gauntlet.
Oh, but look at that! That was Beowulf taking down Rewind. That's given them one avenue of approach now from the south to the north. Get that knock, move up. They're doing it so well. This is good chemistry, good communication, and they need to keep that pressure.
That's
in the
a nade!
It's perfection from Gankstars.
It just trickles in. Beowulf steps in, leans again. That's a third. And all of a sudden, from being down and out and on the back lines, they're just walking through people. What is this?
These guys are a level above, and Angry, living up to that name, just walks on in and massacres anyone in their way. Who else wants to try and stop them? There's still players around. You can see them trying to play off the back of that, but can they slow them down? No is the answer. Confirmed brilliance from these guys, but they can't stop now. The pressure is still on. They have to get towards the north, and there's still teams in front of them.
SolidFPS still holding his nerve and holding him back here. They need to be very careful, but I mean, he got punished by them in the last game. He was up on the level 3 building, and they smashed him in the face.
Yep.
Circle, it does go a little bit more north, as they still have to walk. They still have to run the gauntlet. They're going to have Team 12 directly in front of them. That'll be foul play. And then they have to take on Team Gates once they arrive at that circle. But the question is, can Team Gates survive? We've got those guys just on top of them as well. Again, with this circle, how it's going to be with the hill, you're fighting an uphill battle.
Tell a lie, I thought the Girthy Dingoes were done for. No, they still have players alive in the south. So again, so many teams from the southern side working their way north. And it looks like Team 4, Team Gates, could be big gatekeepers at this point. They could hold back 2 teams here. If they can manage that, that'd be very impressive. We are on board with them right now, keeping tabs on what they can do. The Mini, the M16, you can hear it all kicking off. Gankstars getting caught.
2 players up. Smoke, look at the amount of smokes. These guys just played so well. That gives them the amount to roam, but the spray's there from the UMP. Tag, but no kill. They'll keep on going. Carnage sees them as well. But they're not out of this circle. This is going to be so damn hard to make it through.
Oh, SolidFPS, that's the man you want to be seeing. He could be the detriment to all of this. Although the return fire does come in, they are not out of the woods yet. The blue is on their back. They've got to keep moving. The Gankstars have fire from every single position coming towards them. There's so few of them left alive.
Angry's taking a wide flank here. His teammates have completely fallen, so he's going to have to run left. You can see him, he's just keeping on going. You don't want to get involved in this. He just wants to take it as wide as humanly possible. He's now outside in the blue.
I think it's just him. I think it's just Angry.
Start to do a fair amount of damage as well, Lawrence. He needs to be very careful.
But there was another fight coming in. There's a third party. And when we say third party, it means another team might actually help you out in a weird way by taking a fight on who was engaging on you. Carnage, though, you can see him on the prowl. He wants this.
It's a little bit of border patrol, but I do believe we have a listening with the team over on Team Gates. Let's dive into communication and hear how things are going.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking.
Could come back.
Yeah, I'm coming. I got Grimes northwest.
Let's wait here until.
We got 50 seconds, guys. We gotta rotate in.
Not right now.
Can anybody join me to
Who threw the smoke west?
Smoke in front of me, northwest.
Yeah.
Northwest. Can you join me at 5-5? There's a guy here. In the car. It's me. No, northwest, dude. He's leaving. It's one shot, bro. It's one shot. Let's go. One shot. Just push up. He got killed. Wait, one car.
Let's go.
Well, you can see pretty intense communications, but there's a member of the Gankstars in the backlines, and they do not know it. The one remaining player, Angry, is sat there watching this unfold, and he obviously hasn't heard those comms, but we did. They are very focused on when we saw SolidFPS get in the car and head towards the north.
Yeah, the team captain himself, the sole survivor at the moment, just trying to hold on for dear life and drag his teammates up the leaderboard and get as much position as he can. Again, you're not going to be able to take any of these 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4, for instance. All these teams are some decent teams, to be honest with you, and they're just going to turn on a pinhead and be able to melt you and outnumber you. Rolex now, and the rest
Angry's
to TG.
down.
Is he dead? He's gone. Okay, 5th place then for Gankstars. This opens up the board now. Parker, he's fallen. He's not finished just yet. Coddy also needs to get his health back. Unfortunately, he's tanked up pretty bad.
You've got to be looking at Team Gates here. Considering how they performed before, it was very underwhelming. 11th place, they've got to be gutted. Now it's time to fight it back. Now it's time to put the numbers on the board. Now it's time to claim what everyone was looking at you for. Already the kills are coming in. They're looking good at this one. Down to 3 teams now, 9 alive. They're in a very good position. They look hungry, Rich.
They're pushing on it, Lauren. They know exactly where all these players are, hiding behind the rock. There's the last one. They're down, they're dead, and it's 2 teams alive. 6 individual players And honestly, I think they'll just continue the flood here.
Zen Gamers, these guys have snuck their way forward here. But Team Gates, they've got a fire lit underneath them. Look at these guys. With murderous intent, they're running around this map. Where are Zen Gamers? Pretty cool, calm, collected, funny enough, living up to the name. But they've got a hitman squad running towards them. Zen Gamers know they're in trouble now. The nades could rain in. Level 3 helmets, they've got it all. The fire comes through. Zen Gamers being torn limb from limb. It looks like it's all but done, and it is. Team Gates with an excellent performance. That is how you recover in Game 2.
Fantastic, fantastic work all the way down to the end, keeping 4 players alive in the very, very final circle. The smoke went up for Zen. They tried to make something happen, but unfortunately, the strength in numbers, they were outgunned. And 9 kills in, excuse me, math is bad, 7 kills in the bag in total, and a chicken dinner. That will shoot them right up the leaderboards.
It certainly will, but I think we saw a far greater spread of kills this game too. You can see it, a couple of teams here who weren't getting those kills before, racking them up. There's that final moment coming through again. Carnage. He's been a real player for me. I like that M16 work we've been witnessing from him. There's a lot of individuals really starting to step up now.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we saw as well from that, with it being TPP, there was a lot more disciplined players. There was a lot more teamwork rather than it just being run and gun. I mean, FPP comes down to individual skill when you're looking at that. You've got to have a good shot on you. You've got to have a good awareness of where players are going to be coming from. But setting up certain push in certain players, I mean, when we look back to Yaznaya, the player from Slayers are just outside at the window. Be a point of interest and let them focus on you. 3 people, just one of them stepped in and the rest just rushed behind. You can see what he did. They sent one first. So it was like, okay, there's only one player. Then the other team come from behind. Team wipe, they're down, the dead.
Hopefully that's in the replay. I'm sure we'll be getting that, but in just a second time. I think we need to hear from the desk, though, because so much happened there. So much of the storyline has unfolded. Let's head back to the desk and hear their thoughts on what just went down.
That's right. Thank you very much, Lauren. Indeed, there with Team Gates being able to take a victory, racking up the points now, doing very, very well for themselves. Indeed, some of the final moments, especially there, very good by Team Gates.
Certainly, Team Gates really came to play this time, specifically looking at Carnage, really hitting those shots. He's been popping off the Mini, the M16, you name it, Carnage has been getting it done. They had a nice little showdown there trying to clean up on Gankstars as they came in. They had all kinds of stuff. Those guys they took out at the end and then just pushed super aggressively through the final circle to take out Zenly Gaming.
We can talk about it, and we can also see it right here as Rigi is able to go ahead and take out their Danikins from Hammers Esports, and Derpy with the nice Car 98 shots right on them. But oh my God, Zenly Gaming as well. Second place for Zenly Gaming.
Kind of a surprise finish for them. They got the zone, and it just played out perfectly for them. This little replay right here with G25. Notice how they exchange fire there. One player running out of ammo, ducking back in, and the other player, this teammate, strafing out, finishing off the squad there. G25 taking out Winsanity there in Yaznaya.
And right there, Nerve just driving straight into the barricade. And pretty much he gets him killed, and he also gets Derek T kill. And right here, great place by Crypto. But as he tries to finish him, the other team from Team Hectic is able to go ahead and destroy him.
Huge mistake there from Crypto, trying to finish the kill rather than just looking up a little bit at the corner where his teammate was coming from. And ultimately, that swung the entire fight. G25 eliminated right then and there.
Exposed himself for too long, and that it's enough time, I think it was, for Remix to just go ahead and finish him off and then just trickle down, because I believe they were actually taken off by Team Hectic.
Important moves as well in terms of Gankstars, our current leader in the leading boards until potentially some shakeup goes on down here, is that they were under a lot of pressure in mid-game. But somehow they recover, they kind of push onto other teams. Really powerful stuff.
They really were. SolidFPS and Foul Play, they had them on the ropes. Gankstars was stuck in the field. And then we had just some dudes out of nowhere coming in and crashing onto SolidFPS's squads, bailing out the Gankstars. And then the Gankstars punishing them for that maneuver, taking out just some dudes right after that.
If it wasn't for just some dudes coming into that compound, I think Gankstars would have actually definitely been taken out at that point. And it pretty much, like, I think Gankstars ended up in 5th place, so we're more than likely going to see a little bit of a shake-up there on the leaderboards, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, Gankstars got super lucky there. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Goes to show there are no allies in PUBG when it comes to squads. Even though Gankstars got saved, they come and then wipe the team that saved them from that situation. Thank you, gentlemen. So you can get involved on Twitter as well with the hashtag PMSC to join in the conversations. What did you think about that game just now? What did you think about the finish up on Potato Hill and as everything went down? Again, and a huge thank you to our sponsor in Samsung Galaxy Note 9 as we get things going. We are almost ready to head over to an interview with our team number 1 coming out from game number 2. It is, of course, Team Gates.
Our winner for the game number 2 today is Team Gates, led by Rolex. Rolex, you guys really were hard charging there towards the end. A few things I wanted to talk to you about with regards to the way that thing played out. But first and foremost, congratulations. You guys said you were going to win, and you did. How do you guys think you performed in that round?
Pretty good. I think it was pretty intense at the very end with so many teams still alive. But, you know, we were happy, so.
Did you guys know that Gankstars still had one player left alive? Were you looking for him there at the end?
Yes, for sure, for sure. It was angry. We were looking for him, and we got him, so.
Absolutely. He was able to persevere just a little bit longer, push their way up the leaderboard just a little bit. I look for Team Gates, both of you guys, to try to, you know, battle it out over the course of the day. There was also a nice encounter pushing through those guys towards the end. Did you know, moving through that final circle, Zenly Gaming was waiting for you. Did you have any idea where they were already, or were you just kind of hard charging trying to finish whoever was left?
I had zero clue. We saw some smokes, and we were like, okay, so they're probably here. We pushed up, we saw them, and we just took them down.
Well, very nice job, guys. Congratulations on the big win. We'll look forward to see what you guys can do in Game 3. Any parting words?
Lights out.
There you go. All right. Back to the desk. Kalaris, take it away, man.
Thank you very much for the interview, and that's going to do it for us here for game number 2 moving throughout the tournament. That's 2 of our games down so far, 2 more to come here in day number 1 here of the Star Challenge North America. We're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, game number 3 is on the way, brought to you by Samsung Galaxy Note 9.
What's up, everybody? This is Win Curtis from Winsanity TV, and you're watching Team Winsanity. I started making YouTube videos over 2 years ago in my college dorm room with nothing but a laptop and an iPhone 6. Fast forward now, and my teammates and I have all met through my streams where we meet and play every single night, and now we're here at the Star Challenge. You can bet that if I pick up an AWM, my opponents are screwed. I am a professional sniper, and leading shots is my specialty. All my teammates are fierce competitors, and we've been practicing every night to get to this moment in the Star Challenge. We got through the first round, and we are ready for the playoffs, playing on every map, every night. My first teammate, Larry, is the most tactical guy we have. Landing pachinki or urban areas is his specialty, and he can push houses and not get knocked every single time. Arceus is a great open field player, and in those clutch 1v1 situations, you know he's always going to come out on top. Epic is probably our most well-rounded guy, and he can shoot, loot, drive, and do everything in between to make sure we get that chicken dinner. Everybody on stream knows I have 2 catchphrases. One is good, one's bad. When I get sniped, that's a ripperoni. When I do the sniping, that's bada bing, bada boom.
This is Zen Lee. I was in the Army for 5 years, and after the Army I traveled around in Southeast Asia teaching in Malaysia and Cambodia. I've always been a gamer my whole life, but when I got to California I started taking it a bit more seriously. Optimally, I'd like to have my own gaming house where I can practice with my team full-time, live in the now, the present moment. This is the only moment we're going to have. Live in the moment, be adaptive. You're put into so many different crazy situations. You have to be adaptive, you have to be reflexive, you have to move. You can't be stagnant, you have to be evolving, you have to be ever changing and growing and evolving, trying to become a better player, however that is, studying videos, practicing. Zen gamers are going to have a chance of winning this. We have a lot of work to do. We're going to have to get lucky. We don't have the experience that all these teams have, especially Asia. Been practicing together for a long time. We're fairly new, so I would say we are the underdogs. We need a lot of luck, and we need a lot of teamwork. My favorite weapon is probably the Uzi. I love the Uzi. Have fun. Have fun. No need to be toxic. Namaste, everybody. Have a good one. Yeah, that would be my dance. Just a meditation. Meditate for everybody. Namaste. Hope you guys all have a great day.
Hi everybody, my name is Metalcore and the team I am representing today is called Team Hectic. I got to where I am today by years worth of making videos and live streams and having fun with passionate viewers who are passionate about the games that we all played. And I'm super excited to be part of this tournament because this is the first time I've ever done something like this. Our team actually wasn't a team ever because I decided that I wanted to join this tournament pretty last second, and I asked my community and the people who've watched my live streams, like, oh, how can I get a team together? And this team called ASAP, they've already played in tournaments and stuff. They decided to join my little squad, which we called Team Hectic, and this was the first time we ever played together. And it was really, really cool because we had such good chemistry. The first games we played together were the games we played for this tournament in order to get into where we are today. Before I go, I want to say that Team Hectic, myself, and my team members are all excited to be part of this amazing tournament with tons of other players and content creators, and I think we're going to have a great time.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Here as we have 2 rounds down with 2 more to go for today, and we're going to find out as we already have Gankstars and Team Gates claiming themselves chicken dinners. Who is going to get the other 2? On my desk, of course, I have 7 Worlds, I have PB, and we are contemplating how these next games are going to be going down, as well as, you know, some of the musings of what went down as a whole in that previous game, because there was a lot of action to kind of talk about in that previous game.
A lot of action. Gankstars again finishing high up on the leaderboard, not top spot, but they are not going to fall super far, if at all. They should still finish in the top of the standings. But one team that I noticed that is not going to be doing pretty well. Actually, let's go right into the replay here. We got RK at the very beginning of the game. Check this out. TG, Richie, doing some work.
Getting Danikins right there. Danikins wasn't really sure. And Derpy, my boy with the Car 98, look at that shot. Right through that tiny little window. You got to watch out for pretty much every single angle.
Derpy with that Car 98 was really impressive last game. This was an awesome engagement here with Clay and G25 there at the wall.
The team chemistry right there. One pretty much starts shooting, he has to reload, so the other teammate just goes behind him and starts shooting as well and takes out the whole squad. Yeah, and right here, look at that boy. Nerd just driving straight into the barricade and costing himself and Derek G
That's a fat rip in the chat. I'm just saying. We've also got Crypto here going for the finish, and again, gets popped by Remix there. Remix clutching up and finishing out G25. You've got Carnage working his way through those guys right there at the Rock to put them out in 3rd place, and they moved on into that 1st place finish.
Well, as you were mentioning, I think that as much as we still anticipate Gankstars being #1, those guys getting a 3rd or 4th and then 3rd place position really means that they're going to be ramping up in terms of the points here.
They really will.
Definitely. And actually, surprise. On the top 2, we have actually seen some surprises now. The first game, we saw Derek's Killers. And now we have seen Zenly Gaming coming out in 2nd place. So I'm looking forward. There's going to be a huge shakeup in the leaderboard, especially from what we're kind of predicting, right? We obviously kind of have an idea of who might finish top 3, but it's so surprising seeing these teams actually coming out, showing up to play. So I'm looking forward to just seeing who's going to be the next surprise for the next game.
Sure thing. I want to check out some action from last game. We had a whole bunch of really cool stuff to take a look at. Zenly Gaming, you mentioned the Zen Gamers, off on the far end of the circle. They were right in the middle the entire time, and nobody was challenging them. All of the other squads fighting on the edges, and Zen Gaming just chilling, hanging out. It was looking really good.
It was an easy spot for them to claim a nice position in terms of the placement overall. And then looking forwards as well, Underrated and Wildcard, actually a fight that we didn't really capture too much of, but they were having a big brawl down towards south positions when it came to those circles. And then it all kind of played out, and eventually Wildcard was able to clutch that situation. I think that's kind of what we expect from teams like Wildcard coming into this tournament, right?
Wildcard had a really solid round that time. They took out a few notable teams. I believe they got Lights Out, and I believe they also got Underrated. In that particular game. So really, really impressive stuff from them. They rotated in a little bit late, but able to get that gunplay. Hot Jukes knocking off a few key Car 98 snipes there. And he's putting his money where his mouth is.
It's Hot Jukes. It's what he does. And they were actually able to get knocked down, but they were able to recover from that. And that's something to see in these tournaments, right? You want to see how they're going to recover when they're pushed by against the wall, when everything is on them, when the pressure's on them. How are they going to go ahead and deliver? And they were able to actually go ahead and win that fight with Underrated.
Well, speaking of delivering, PB, what have you got to show us? I think you've got some highlights maybe to break down for us.